Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 7, Book 63, number 249. Narrated by Nafi. Ibn Umar bin al-Khattab divorced his wife during her menses. Allah's apostle ordered him to take her back till she became clean, and when she got another period while she was with him, she should wait till she became clean again, and only then, if he wanted to divorce her, he could do so before having sexual relations with her. And that is the period Allah has fixed for divorcing women. Whenever Abdullah bin Umar was asked about that, he would say to the questioner, "If you divorced her thrice, she is no longer lawful for you unless she marries another man, and the other man divorces her in his turn." Ibn Umar further said, "Would that you, people, only give 1 or 2 divorces, because the Prophet has ordered me so." Volume 7, Book 63, number 250. Narrated by Yunus ibn Jubair. Ibn Umar divorced his wife while she was having her menses. Umar asked the Prophet, who said, "Order him, your son, to take her back," and then divorced her before her period of the iddah has elapsed. I asked Ibn Umar, "Will that divorce, during the menses, be counted?" He replied, "If somebody behaves foolishly, will his foolishness be an excuse for his misbehavior?" Volume 7, Book 63, number 251. Narrated by Humayd bin Nafi. Zainab bint Abu Salama told me these 3 narrations. Zainab said, "I went to Habiba, the wife of the Prophet, when her father, Abu Sufyan bin Harb, had died. Habiba asked for a perfume which contained yellow scent, calic, or some other scent, and she first perfumed one of the girls with it and then rubbed her cheeks with it and said, 'By Allah, I am not in need of perfume, but I have heard Allah's apostle saying, it is not lawful for a lady who believes in Allah and the last day to mourn for a dead person for more than 3 days, unless he is her husband, for whom she should mourn for 4 months and 10 days. Zainab further said, "I went to Zainab bint Jahsh when her brother died. She asked for perfume and used some of it and said, 'By Allah, I am not in need of perfume, but I have heard Allah's apostle saying on the pulpit, it is not lawful for a lady who believes in Allah and the last day to mourn for more than 3 days, except for her husband, for whom she should mourn for 4 months and 10 days. Zainab further said, "I heard my mother, Salama, saying that a woman came to Allah's apostle and said, 'O Allah's apostle, the husband of my daughter has died and she is suffering from an eye disease. Can she apply kohl to her eye?' Allah's apostle replied, 'No, twice or thrice.' Every time she repeated her question, he said, 'No.' Then Allah's apostle added, 'It is just a matter of 4 months and 10 days. In the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, a widow among you should throw a globe of dung when 1 year has elapsed." I said to Zainab, "What does throwing a globe of dung when 1 year had elapsed mean?" Zainab said, "When a lady was bereaved of her husband, she would live in a wretched small room and put on the worst clothes she had and would not touch any scent till 1 year had elapsed. Then she would bring an animal, e.g. a donkey, a sheep or a bird, and rub her body against it. The animal against which she would rub her body would scarcely survive. Only then she would come out of her room, whereupon she would be given a globe of dung which she would throw away, and then she would use the scent she liked or the like. Volume 7, Book 63, number 252. Narrated by Salama. A woman was bereaved of her husband, and her relatives worried about her eyes, which were diseased. They came to Allah's Apostle, and asked him to allow him to treat her eyes with kohl, but he said, she should not apply kohl to her eyes. In the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, a widowed woman among you would stay in the worst of her clothes, or the worst part of her house, and when a year had elapsed, if a dog passed by her, she would throw a globe of dung. Nay, she cannot use kohl, till 4 months and 10 days have elapsed. Narrated Habiba, the Prophet said, it is not lawful for a Muslim woman who believes in Allah and the Last Day to mourn for more than 3 days, except for her husband, for whom she should mourn for 4 months and 10 days. Volume 7, Book 63, number 253. Narrated by Aisha. We were forbidden to mourn for more than 3 days except for a husband. Volume 7, Book 63, number 254. Narrated by Aisha. We were forbidden to mourn for more than 3 days for a dead person, except for a husband, for whom a wife should mourn for 4 months and 10 days, while in the mourning period, we were not allowed to put kohl in our eyes, nor perfume ourselves, nor wear dyed clothes, except a garment of asb, special clothes made in Yemen. But it was permissible for us that when one of us became clean from her menses and took a bath, she could use a piece of a certain kind of incense. And it was forbidden for us to follow funeral processions. Volume 7, Book 63, number 255. Narrated by Aisha. The Prophet said, it is not lawful for a lady who believes in Allah and the Last Day, to mourn for more than 3 days for a dead person, except for her husband, in which case she should neither put kohl in her eyes, nor perfume herself, nor wear dyed clothes, except a garment of asb. Aisha added, the Prophet said, she should not use perfume except when she becomes clean from her menses, whereupon she can use kust and asfar, 2 kinds of incense. Volume 7, Book 63, number 256. Narrated by Mujahid. Regarding the verse, if any of you dies and leaves wives behind, that was the period of the iddah which the widow was obliged to spend in the house of the late husband. Then Allah revealed, and those of you who die and leave wives should bequeath for their wives a year's maintenance and residence without turning them out, but if they leave, there is no blame on you for what they do of themselves, provided it is honorable, that is lawful marriage. 2.240 Mujahid said, Allah has ordered that a widow has the right to stay for 7 months and 20 days with her husband's relatives through her husband's will and testament, so that she will complete the period of 1 year of iddah. But the widow has the right to stay that extra period or go out of her husband's house, as is indicated by the statement of Allah. But if they leave, there is no blame on you. 2.240 Ibn Abbas said, the above verse has cancelled the order of spending the period of the iddah at her late husband's house, and so she could spend her period of the iddah wherever she likes. And Allah says, without turning him out, Arta said, if she would, she could spend her period of the iddah at her husband's house and live there according to her husband's will and testament, and if she would, she could go out of her husband's house, as Allah says, there is no blame on you for what they do of themselves. 2.240. Arta added, then the verses of inheritance were revealed and the order of residence, for the widow, was cancelled, and she could spend her period of the iddah wherever she would like, and she was no longer entitled to be accommodated by her husband's family.